So hi everyone, welcome to Craft. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to start a business, how to make business out of your hobby, and how to make money with your hobby. In my previous video, I talked about all these business advice channels and all these people who are trying to sell you a dream to buy your to sell you something or to make you believe in the dream that you can start a business out of your hobby and you can make money with your hobby. And I rewatched the video and it was a bit doomy gloomy, and it wasn't really giving you a solution, or it was kind of a dream shatterer video. And I don't like to be the guy, who is the downer, Debbie Downer, and all that. So I had a long and hard thinking, and this is why we are sitting down today, because I want to give you a solution on how to make money with art and how to start your own business. Now, about me, I'm 37 years old, and I built and sold 3 successful companies. I built a guest house and I sold a guest house. I started my own pub, and then I sold my own pub. Then I started a painting and decorating business and I sold that. Then I started an interior design business and I got successful, and I sold that. So I have quite an experience of starting something from nothing and carving out my way in a market. And based on my experiences, I wanted to share with you my views on how to start a business and how to make a living, or how to try to make a living with your art. Now, before we get into it, there are some prerequisites you need to pay attention to before you spend all your savings on materials and all that jazz, because you have to do some research and you have to make sure that you are objective and rational about it, and you're not trying to make yourself believe in a dream. So all I'm trying to say is you have to be rational about it. Now, today I made notes because I'm a smart boy, and this is not gonna be off the cuff because this is an important topic, and I really want to make sure that I don't lead you on into something that could harm you. And I want to make sure that, or I would like to ask you guys, if I miss something, or if I misspeak, or if I leave out something, please be so kind with the others and leave it in the comment section as a way of working together as a community. Okay, if you have your own experience, please add it to this video. Let's try to help each other. Let's make something better out of ourselves. Okay, so now 3 minutes and I haven't said anything yet. Anyway, so at the beginning, I want to start out with how to make money with your art and how to turn your hobby into a business. Well, step 1, I would say, find something you like to make. Find something that is intriguing to you. Find something where you can express yourself, and where you can challenge yourself, and where you can feel accomplished when you make it. Okay? That's basically number 1. You need to find your own thing. Okay? Yeah. By all means experiment. By all means watch all the YouTube videos on how to make this or that, or anything. Do your experimentation, and then just pick 1, 2, 3 different kind of things you like to make. Okay? And then if you want to make it into a business, you have to do some market research. Okay? Now, by market research, I mean you have to hard look online and in person, or wherever you are on the planet. You have to find out how to get these things you are wanting to make. You have to think, you have to pick up the glasses of a customer who would like to buy something like this, and you have to look for it, scour the internet, and try to find the cheapest way to get the thing you want to make. And that is going to be your baseline, because most of the time your customers, like 90% of the average customer base is deciding on price. Then the second they decide on quality, and then the third they decide on style, which means the first thing they look is for the price, the second the materials, the quality materials, and the third is the style. Very rarely people buy impulsively items when they look for it online. Very rarely. When they buy impulsively, there are many these Vision, all these places where they can buy impulsively, so they immediately get funneled into that channel. So all I'm saying is, look for the lowest price on the market. Like, if you want to buy that thing you're making right now, what is the cheapest you can get it right now? Doesn't matter where. Etsy, eBay, Marketplace, Craigslist, Gumtree, dude, wherever. Even like the makers markets, or I don't know, furniture stores, whatever you're into, just try to find where you can get it for the cheapest, and then get that price, or get that price range, and calculate the cost of making. Now, calculating the cost of making consists of the cost of materials, the cost of electricity and everything to make it, the time investment to make it, and the investment of marketing it. But let's just keep it simple. How much you paid for the materials, how much time it took for you to make it, and add this together. Okay, that's your base price, and you have to see that if you can keep your price around that range or under that range. If you cannot, so if you can, good. Okay, if you can, good. You can undercut the market, and you can. That's a yes. If you cannot, one thing you should learn from Elon Musk, whatever guy he is, let's not get into that. One thing you have to learn is, if you can't go and sell your stuff cheaper, you have to add something extra to your service. Like, for example, I was a painter and decorator in England, and I started out as a one-man band many years ago, and I knew that there are other painters with more experience who are cheaper than I am. And what I've done is, I didn't undercut them, because I needed to make a certain amount of money to be profitable. So what I thought to myself is, okay, what extra I can give as a value to my customers. So I always give them a detailed quote. I always give them a detailed product list we're gonna use. I give them the procedure. I educated them on the procedure, how it's gonna go. I was always prompt on time, and I always kept the deadline, or try to keep the deadline as much as possible. And I always ensure the quality level that is higher than average, right? So that was basically the extra I give, and I had many customers coming back to me, and it was a successful business until COVID hit. Yeah, so find out what extra you can add to your product. Like, maybe a how do you say it? Like, if you make a table, just put it out. You make a coffee table with epoxy resin, and you have an oil finish on it. You can give an extra spray can of whatever oil finish that they can apply every 6 months. You can always check back on them 6 months later, like, hey, how is the finish on your table? Do you need any help to refinish it for free of charge, or do you need, or what do you think? Just something extra. That's what I'm saying. Okay, what's next? Yeah. And after you have all this, you have to calculate the extra working hours into the price. Extra working hours, what do I mean by that? Now, you need to calculate in the time it takes for you to order the materials in. So you have to calculate in not just, you have, okay, I'm trying to say so many things at the same time. So first of all, when you turn your hobby into a business, you become an organization, and you will develop many personalities per se. You will wear many hats. I don't know how you say it in your country. So basically, you will become the guy who is sourcing all the materials, you become the guy who is producing the stuff, and so on and so on. As I said in the previous video, you have to calculate your time you spend with the company into the price of your product. Because that is basically how you make money. That is basically your profit. And someone is testing the engine of his boat next door, so give me a moment. Let me shut the door. One sec. Stepped on an angle right now. Anyhow, so where was I? So you have to calculate in the extra working hours you're gonna spend into the price. That's all I'm saying. Whatever is the general hourly rate, you know, for you to be able to survive. Because I assume you already calculated your house and survival expenses at this point, you know, everybody does. So you have to calculate that in. And then you have to calculate the next step. So once you have this number, you have to add on that if you would make this thing in volume, what is the volume you could achieve, and how much time and space it would take up to produce your thing in volume. And by that I mean, if I need to make 100 or 200 ocean wave trays, how long would it take for me to make it, how much time it would eat up, and how much space would it eat up in that case. Also, this you have to calculate in your business. It's not always a monetary value, it's just something to face, you know, like you have to work like 8 hours a day, or 10 hours a day, or 14 hours a day, and then you need to get some extra space for them to dry. And you know, just when you are visualizing your business, it's not just counting money. Okay, so you have to visualize this, like you have to work out the, okay, so that's the next step. So next you have to imagine a flow, how your product from the raw material becomes something that is in the hand of the customer. This I would call a pipeline or a workflow, where the raw materials turned into a product gets into the hand of the customer, and you have to imagine every step of the way. Better yet, I advise you to write it down. Write down every single step of the way and work out how would you imagine that step, how would you create that step, how would you go about that step. And that is basically that's basically what my job used to be is making these workflows and pipelines for computer related stuff. Anyway, so but that's a good thing. Once you have this down, this will give you a rough idea of how to imagine this this company or business you want to make. Now, if you are still profitable at this point, and if you're still making money on this, even if I'm not gonna say it. If you make as much money as you think it's worth spending your time on it, then you can move on, or you should definitely move on to the next stage of starting your own business. Okay. If not, if you are not profitable yet, you either have to correct course somewhere in the list, or you have to rethink the product you want to make, or you have to rethink the market you want to reach. That's basically it. It is still possible to make a business out of your hobby or your passion, but you need to course correct on what do you exactly look. Let's take my example. I love woodworking. I love the smell of wood. I love wood grain. I love engineering, but I suck at it. I'm really bad at woodworking because I don't have the space nor the tools to nor the patience to to do this in a very high skill level. But I love epoxy too, and I like to play around with wood and epoxy. And I want to make a lot of tables. Tables are my bread and butter because they're big and you can polish them. There are so many ideas I have about it. But I live on an island, and people come on a holiday to this island, and I realized that I won't be able to sell a coffee table. I made a coffee table 2 months ago, the black and blue coffee table, and that table is 38 kilos. It's heavy. So anyway, if anyone want to buy it, it costs about 400-500 euros or $400-500 to transport it only inside the European Union. If you are outside the EU, it's even more expensive. So long story short, I realized I can't make money with coffee tables. So I had to adjust my course, and I'm like, I'm on the Paradise Island. It's a beautiful Greek island, blue seas, white sand, everything you can imagine. What would sell here? Ocean waves, ocean wave art, ocean wave resin art, small souvenirs related to Egina, and that would sell. And there are many souvenir shops on the island. There are many people selling their own art on the island, but nobody does this. So this is the niche I can grab into. So I had to course correct. I would love to make tables. I would love to make extremely high quality, huge things, but it is what it is. Anyway, so once you find something that would be actually profitable to make, and you would be able to sell it for profit, then you can move on to the next step, which is marketing. Now, marketing is a big thing, so I'm not going to give you a crash course on marketing and how to do marketing, because that's just I'm already 80 minutes in the video, and there's going to be another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and I'm not the guy to teach you on marketing. Only thing, the few major points I would enhance, or the few major points I want to talk about is find the target audience. Finding your target audience means that you have to find the places where people hang out who want to buy your stuff, or who you think you can market your stuff to. Okay? Arts and crafts fairs, comic cons, anime cons, I don't know, car boot sales, shopping malls, holiday resorts, restaurants, you name it. Okay, but you need to find those people who would buy your stuff, and then you need to figure out how to reach these people. And I'm not saying that you should do Facebook marketing and you should do Google ads and all that. Everybody does that, okay? And nobody watches it. Everybody uses AdBlock these days. I use AdBlock. everywhere, even on YouTube. But all I'm saying is, if you want to sell your stuff, don't think big in the beginning. Like if you are making cutting boards, go to the local restaurants, ask them, would you like to serve your cheese boards or cheese platters on these boards? You actually have to physically go there and peddle your wares, and you have to be comfortable with that. Okay, you have to go to the local charity shop, or I don't know, the local knickknack shop, and ask the guy there you have to go to the small mom and pop shops first if you want to resell your stuff, or you have to go to the local veggie market if you want to just make a stand there, just pop up a stand and just go to, I don't know what are the regulations in your country. Sorry, I don't know what the regulations are in your country, but you have to find your target audience, and you have to find a way to reach your target audience. And I would advise you to do it in person, because then they will see the person behind the product. And you have to start small. And yeah, many of you have anxiety, and many of you have a hard time talking to people, but this is another challenge you have to take on and beat if you want to start your own business. Yeah, and then my next advice when you do marketing, don't worry about the volume in the beginning. Sell one, then sell two. Just do it small, do it gradually. Okay, if you have to I am at the point in my life where if I have to stand on the sidewalk with my coasters and with my art in my hand, and I have to sell it to people like that, I would feel I would have no problem with that, because the life of my family and the people I'm responsible for are more important to me than my pride. So you have to slow down too. And if you can do that, great. But start small. Don't try to make the big buck in the first week. You probably won't. And build this. If you start small, it will build your courage or something like that. And yeah, and then I can't read what I wrote. Oh yeah, so start small and then repeat it until you build enough momentum to start selling in volume. Okay, but you have to be out there, meet people, talk to people, and show that you are enthusiastic about what you do. Okay, now once you have that done, and once you build momentum, and you actually have people helping you out packing and producing your stuff, how to keep the ball rolling, because one of our channel members, one of our community members, told me today or yesterday that eventually everybody's gonna have a tumbler, everybody's gonna have enough jewelry, everybody's gonna have a coffee table. How do you keep on selling when the market is saturated? And I learned this from a very good friend of mine who started a clothing business and making clothes and selling their own stuff. They started to make branded tools. They started to diversify their portfolio per se, diversify their product range. The product was still branded with their name, and the product was still the same quality product they made, but it was a different field, a different niche, different subjects. So we usually, when we do epoxy and we do art and resin, and we sell something that people can look at and admire. But we can also get into utilitarian tools, or something people would use in their households, or something, whatever. Make your own branded coffee, for all I care. What I'm trying to say is repeat the cycle from the beginning, where step one, you find something else you like to make. Repeat the entire cycle again with that thing, but you're still making the first thing you were making, but find something else you like, and do this list we were just talking about again. And once you are saturated your market with that, find a third thing, and then find a fourth thing. And this is how you can make a business out of your hobby, and this is how you can make money with your art, in my opinion. And this is how you keep it afloat. Now, these are just like 15 things I came up with this morning while having my coffee rush, and I probably left out a lot of things, and I probably missed some in between steps. I know, but this is just an outline of what was in my mind when I started out my own business. I would like to ask you, whoever stayed this long in this video and still watching, please, if you run a business, or if you want to empower your fellow makers, or if you ever tried to run your own business, please tell us, what did I miss? What else we need to look out for? What was your biggest challenge? How did you beat it? If you beat it, if you did beat it, if you didn't, what was the challenge that broke your business? And if you have a solution for that, if you see it in the comment section that somebody had a problem or has a problem with their business, and if you have a solution for that, would you be so kind to answer for them? If you have the solution, like, let's work together here, okay? I don't want to give money to those people who are selling you the dream and bait and switching you. Let's work together as a team, a community, for free, and let's empower each other. That's basically all I want. And yeah, that's it for this video, I think. Thank you very much for joining me, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.